Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the Seaman's Cinema Sit Down and back into the much smaller, cramped Seaman cave. Good to be home, even if the studio space that I have to play with now is smaller than it used to be. It's nice to be in the old stomping grounds, and we came back here last video to check out the trailer for the Animaniacs reboot that's coming to Hulu this Friday, which is very exciting, November 20th. And if you haven't seen my reaction to that, you can check it out right there. But now we're getting ready to take a look at another cartoon, this time coming back to the big screen, with a classic cartoon duo that, once again, I grew up with. So why don't you pull up a chair, take a seat. We're getting ready to take a look at the first official trailer for Tom and Jerry. That's right, man. Tom and Jerry are coming back to the big screen, and again, this is just an animated property that I grew up with that I love. Back when MGM was putting out these shorts, that would play in front of movies with this Tom and Jerry character. And eventually they made their way to TV. And Tom and Jerry fit perfectly into the fabric of that kind of cartoon. And what's crazy with Tom and Jerry is just the story that they have as far as their run through all of these years. They started out with Hanna-Barbera, their first legit cartoon, where they were doing these shorts after doing, they won an Oscar short with a cat and mouse cartoon, and then they got Tom and Jerry. And they would do Tom and Jerry for a while on the big screen, and then Tom and Jerry left for a little bit to some other people to play with them. And then they came back to Hanna-Barbera again when they entered television. And then since then have bounced around a few times, come back to Hanna-Barbera, and then of all things, landed at WB in 2006. And they put out a show in 2006 that ran for a couple years, and now they have another Tom and Jerry show that's been running, I think, from like 2014 to present day, something like that. But crazy that, WB is just resurrecting all these classic cartoons that I grew up watching, even my parents grew up watching, and their parents grew up watching. It's crazy. HBO Max, they've got all the Looney Tunes on there, man. You go all the way back to like the 30s. It's wild how long these cartoons have been around, and these characters have continued to thrive. I mean, the Looney Tunes, they're looking to try to do another Space Jam. Like, they're going to come back. They have a brand new Looney Tunes cartoon on HBO Max that's actually quite good. So I'm pumped, man. Like I said, Animaniacs looks great. I'm excited for Tiny Toons, and I'm pumped to see what we get on the big screen with Tom and Jerry. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get our trusty little travel box up. All right, man, we are ready to get nice and small, so let's shrink it on down. We are tiny. The trailer for Tom and Jerry is down below. Let's see what we're getting with her. That's the other thing, too. They're our cat and mouse buddy. But what's cool is even though they have that cat and mouse type of relationship, there is always kind of like a mutual respect every once in a while, specifically in the movies, where they kind of would get along. There's a love-hate relationship with Tom and Jerry. So I love that aspect. It's one of the things that makes them a little bit different than some of the other cat and mouse, or rather cat and bird and coyote and bird characters that we have out there. So that's one of those things that I really look forward to. And I'm stoked to see what we get back on the big screen this time for Tom and Jerry. So let's take a look at what we're getting. Oh, is that live action?
After a lifetime of being the world's most famous enemies,
Great song choice.
Tom and Jerry are about to start over.
And as that respect and kind of friendship.
In the big city.
Oh, man. Interesting. I wonder if...
has been host to 4 presidents, 3 popes, 2 kings, and we're about to host the wedding of the century.
Do you think you're qualified to take on this position?
I shine.
Oh, Chloe Grace,
like an island.
great cast.
One other thing. We have a mouse problem.
With the what? I'll catch it, sir.
Everybody gonna shine. I was born like this, don't even gotta try.
Oh wow, this is so detailed. We could hire an exterminator, or we can live for millions of years of predatory evolution.
Got the baddest
picture of this mouse is tweeted out to Instabook Face or TikTok, we will be ruined.
No, sir, that's not gonna happen. That rodent is toast.
The music editing is so... Ken Jeong!
He's toying with us.
I feel like I'm seeing too much.
I think I might have just pulled this off.
Really?
So, I guess all animals are cartoon. That's a good way to bring that down. Are we getting a Batman pull? That looks... Warner Brother Animation's on fire these days, man. I love that Scoob movie, even though it's more just a Hanna-Barbera launch movie. There's a lot of fun with that animation. And the animation here is great. I love the mixture of live action and cartoon. That is also something that... it kind of throws me back, something I'm used to. A lot of these cartoons we've seen interact in live action before, and it's nice to see Tom and Jerry there. Yeah, great cast. I mean, you got Chloe Grace Moretz, Michael Pena, Ken Jeong being the cook. That's fantastic. So I love the live action cast, and they're playing into all the things that you love about Tom and Jerry, man. A lot of classic hijinks going on between the two of them. Like I was saying, the one thing that they've always kind of had is that respect for each other and kind of like a sort of friendship, a real love-hate type of relationship. And you see that right at the beginning, kind of off on their own, like, you know what, no, let's stick together. And boom, hit with the bus. Perfect way to start that trailer out. And like I said, I like the mix of animation and live action, and I like the fact that they're not the only, cartoon characters in the world, or this is one of those like, oh, the cartoons have entered the real world. Animals are cartoons, so that's a genius touch. Something that'll really work with the live action element. It allows you to have a lot of fun with, again, something that is a classic look and feel. It makes you think of like Mary Poppins, or all sorts of... There was a real stretch of time back in the early days of cartoon when they first were able to kind of play with green screens and stuff, where you started putting people in animated movies, or animated characters into real life movies. Took a little while for it to flip over, but I like having that element, and it allows you to bring a really fun cast in, and as well as they'd be as a voice cast if it was all animated, you get to actually see the performances, which is cool, and it looks like it should hopefully mesh really well. And like I said, lots of Tom and Jerry hijinks. I feel like I saw too many gags on Tom, though. I don't know if... I don't know if this is a good trailer or a bad trailer, because I feel like I saw a lot, but hopefully that they saved some stuff for us, and that looks like it should be a fun time if you're a fan of Tom and Jerry. That's hitting all the classic check boxes for me. So those are all my thoughts on the Tom and Jerry trailer. Now I want to know what you're thinking, man. Anything you're thinking about Tom and Jerry. Did you grow up watching Tom and Jerry? If you are younger, since WB got it in the early 2000s, and they've been running with this Tom and Jerry show. Is it something that you're currently watching? Did you come around to Tom and Jerry at any point in time? Is this new to you? Do you know nothing about Tom and Jerry? What do you think the trailer looks like, no matter where you fall there? Does it look good? Does it look bad? Do you like the idea of live action and animation together? What's going to work and not work? Anything you're thinking about Tom and Jerry, down below in the comments section. Look forward to talking to you down there. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, you want to come hang out with the C-Man anytime we're watching trailers, talking about TV, movies, you haven't yet, you want to show a little love, a little support for the old C-Man, you want to join a little bit of a community, jump over there, man, hit the that subscribe button, come join the C-Maniacs. And if you like those alerts and things of that nature, hit that little bell that follows. And until next time, for the C-Mans, Cinema, sit down. I've been the C-Man. I'm signing off. Peace. Well, you guys are still here. You must be looking for some more content. Well, don't worry. C-Man's got you covered, man. You got videos like this guy and this guy. And if you haven't yet, and you want to come check out all the C-Man goodies, join the Cinema Sit Down squad, man. Hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the little bell down below that, too, so you can get alerts every time I make new videos.